It's sometimes we do stuff that we're not too proud of, and sometimes we just have to let God be God in our lives and let things happen. I don't regret anything I said on that video. I don't regret uh, responding the way I did. I'm just tired. I'm tired of people coming on here and just uh, Satan sends people to take away from what God's about to do. And I'm a firm believer of that. And I'm a firm believer of Satan tries everything to stop people from hearing truth. Well, many of you have seen the truth today. You got to see how false people pretend to be one way and end up another way. And I'm not saying that he's just lost. I mean, that's all I'm going to say, and that's all the time I'm going to spend talking about that nonsense. But you know, to live the life and follow in Christ, to be Christ-like, that means even slow to anger. I tried, people. I really did. I spent some time just going to prayer and repenting to God and just having him re-examine my life because you know I knew what they were doing and I knew they were pushing buttons and I just there's a thing of spiritual warfare to prepare yourself for that. But when you use I'm fascinated by that house and those kind of things, I'm not fascinated by it. There's nothing there's nothing good that comes from that kind of lifestyle. Nothing. There's nothing good that ever came to my life. I you know so many people fall into a lifestyle of opening stuff up that they have no clue. They really don't. And as you can see on that video, anybody that was on there, you could see how quick I just kept calling it back to them, kept calling it back to them, and get it wrong. I mean, they just kept getting it wrong and wrong and wrong. It's sad. It's sad that we God doesn't put us in hell. We put ourselves there. I truly want you guys to know this. Hell exists for a reason. God created hell for these fallen demons that were fallen angels at one time. God created that fiery pit for them, so they couldn't escape. But instead, they figured a way to get out of there by demonic possessions and seances and opening stuff. And so many people want to talk to family members that passed away. Well, let me give you a reverse flip on that real quick. How many of you spent time with these family members? I tell my kids this all the time. There's going to come a day that the breath is done, and then they're going to stand there and do that crying act and do all that to put on a show. But you had every opportunity to spend time together. So when you waste that time, you can't get it back. If you waste today, you can't get it back tomorrow. It's done. Whatever you did today lays your foundation. And if you go into a foundation of quicksand, as long as you don't move fast, hey, somebody might find you and you might get rescued. But panic. We panic every day and we don't even realize it. We allow Satan to get into parts of our world that we shouldn't. We allow I was just looking at my model. I don't know why, but it's not sitting straight. I think the glue settled wrong. But not that that matters, but I'm going into battle. Taking my battleship. I'm going to battle. Battle for Jesus. Christ, my destiny. I don't think I've ever seen your name on here before. But you know what? Thank you. Thank you for coming back on because I mean, I really felt bad. I mean, not what I said, getting angered like that, because I have to be careful because that anger can drag me. I could, but let me rephrase that. That anger, I can allow myself to go into a place where I don't want to go, and I try to keep that past of me buried and away from that. I mean, they'd have no idea. Luckily, they're in Canada. I mean, honestly, because you know, and I'm not saying anything being bragging or anything like that, but that kind of anger sparks. That's a scary anger. It truly is. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and I should have never let myself get that far. And it's just like woodpeckers. They're like it was like a demon woodpecker that wouldn't stop. Even you keep asking them, but it's just it's sad. I spent many nights talking to him, and then to to do what you do is it's demons, people. I mean, they're growing. Halloween's going to be this Halloween. Honestly, I keep telling everybody, pay attention. If you pass out candy or if you take your kids trick or treating, start looking at the costumes. Start looking at how realistic some of this stuff is starting to look. Uh, so, I've had people ask me, do you come against trick or treating? Do you come? I don't come against anything. I come against Satan. I don't care if you put up a Christmas tree, put up a Christmas tree. If you watch Charlie Brown, then watch Charlie Brown. If that's part of your tradition of life, all I'm saying is I don't watch the horror stuff. Don't watch. I mean, should we be trick or treating? No, because in a way, we're doing is celebrating Satan's night. We're basically, it becomes greed. You know, how much candy can you get? How much this and it. I honestly don't miss it. I don't miss it. Oh yeah, that I started that account when this one got hacked, and I actually try to, when the videos get done uploading here, I keep trying to get them loaded on the other one, but it does get tiring sometimes trying to keep up with all of it. But so today we got to be strong. Today we got to go into that denial of the flesh. We got to, remove. The Lord told me, yeah, I think it was yesterday, Darlene and I was talking about it. He showed me a blank page, and I started telling you guys on here. I was showing you with the tablet. He showed me a blank page, a new start, open doors. He said he's going to remove the wolves, but expect the wolves to come to try to devour you. Um, and today, I wish I would have remembered this earlier. Normally I pray before I get on here and start doing the videos and stuff, and ask for God's protection over me, and let me just speak truly. Let my words be His words. And today I didn't do that, and look what happened. That shows you the power of prayer. It shows you that He will do exactly. Yeah, you ain't kidding. This world is evil, and it just keeps growing. It has to. You you think about how this world has to become. This world has to become upside down. We got to be in total chaos for Jesus to come. And everybody kept thinking this whole week, Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming. Then now you're looking at all these people that said this on their channels. They fasted, and Jesus told them through fast. Jesus told them through dreams, and Jesus gave them signs, and Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. But the problem is, you look at all the events that are happening right now. This is I believe this is the last revival because of Charlie Cook getting killed and all the stuff that's going around right now, it is a big revival. I believe this is a falling away from the church. I also believe that this is the time of the signs of false prophets. I believe that we're seeing a lot of demonic rising, but it has to be total chaos for the Antichrist to take over to be able to call peace. You look at Russia putting their planes up there just over Hawaii. I mean, Alaska people, that's close. That's real close. You look at Trump's speech a while back at the UN. You look at, did anybody pay attention to the crowd? Pay attention to their faces? Some of them are just smiling like, that ain't a good smile. War's coming. The Lord said. The Lord said we would have these things on this earth. Look how many people. I don't know if you guys have because I watched the trucking industry very well because I'm a part of it. But you look at all the people that just got busted for not even having a CDL. Well, a couple of them got busted for just having a temporary. It's like you're not even licensed to drive a car yet. Let alone, I mean, you got to have somebody in your car with you with a temporary permit. I'm talking a temporary permit, not a temporary CDL permit. I'm talking a temporary permit for like a regular driver's license. And that's what happens when they made the world an automatic realm out here. It's most of these trucks these days are automatic. So it's like you don't really need to know how to shift the stuff. You just need to know how to drive it. Drive that trailer. That's basically what you're doing. But we have to come together, and we have to stay united under Christ. We have to pick up our cross and follow Him. And He never said it was going to be easy for us to do it. I only wish. I mean, honestly, and this is true. May God stop my tongue if I am not telling the truth. I only wish, truly wish, that I could truly lay my life at Jesus's feet, the way that Charlie Cook and all them, Kirk. Did I say Cook? I actually knew a guy named Charlie Cook. It sounds too familiar when you say it, but I believe I was tested, to see what my outcome was one time in a truck stop, and I told the guy, just take me outside, but don't harm anybody in here. This is what I asked him: don't harm anybody in here. Let me call my wife and tell her I'm not coming home. I'm going home to the other home, and let me pray for him. He said, no, that's okay, but I still don't like your shirt, type thing. It's because that power of prayer is mighty. It's powerful. It's I remember when the Lord told me to look outside. What do I see? And I see hate, filth, disgust, dirtiness, dingy, trash all over the place. I mean, people fighting, people yelling, chaos. And then it dawned on me. That's why I started calling it the devil's playground. And it's hard. I mean, I get it, people. I know, being a Christian, a lot of people don't want to hear this stuff. A lot of people don't want to hear about hell. But sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it's necessary to do that spiritual warfare battle, so you know what you're dealing with. Now, I'm not telling anybody to do a spiritual warfare battle, but you got to be able to protect your family. You got to be able to protect yourself from stuff that you read, stuff that you see, stuff that starts manifesting itself. What are you going to do? I mean, ain't much. If you don't know what to do, you're if anything, just cry out for Jesus. But and that's my thing, is so many people use Jesus for an ATM and use God for an ATM. Whenever something's not going right in their life, they're calling on them. Well, why don't you call on the master that you serve unto? What's he going to do for you? Nothing. He wants you miserable. He wants you depressed. He wants you lost. He wants you broken. He don't want you to succeed in anything. He wants you to feel like a failure. He wants you to be in that miserable state of life. He wants you to pump chemicals into your body. He wants you to look at nasty stuff. He wants you to be into that place that you're never going to leave out of. It's too good. Too good feelings to be in that place. To be wrapped up into that luxury of your sin, the flesh. Your flesh is the most hardest thing to deny. You realize this? Because it wants something all the time. It's that teaching like I gave about the candy bar. You keep talking about a certain kind of candy bar and you keep saying it, saying it, and saying it, and saying it, and saying it. Guess what? Eventually, you're going to find yourself going to get that candy bar or asking somebody to bring it to you. Seriously. It happens all the time. It happened to me plenty of times. I can talk myself into anything. I can talk myself out of things. Does it make me better than anybody else? No. It just makes it that mind over matter thing. You know, uh, like them, blocking them off of here. They didn't matter anymore because it's not. You show yourself when you stand in front of a mirror. You can't lie then. You can try to lie. You can lie to yourself. I recommend you do that before you tell a lie. Go stand in front of a mirror and lie to yourself. Convince yourself that it's right. It's not going to happen. So many people spend so much time not praying, but so much time walking in the pathways of the wrong. And that's what's exactly what's happening today. So many people use my past. So many people use uh, my own family. My own family has used. You're Satan because you read the devil's Bible. You did this. That doesn't mean, to call me Satan. That means I would have to be at the beginning of time. And if I was Satan, do you really think I'd be sitting here putting up with the nonsense that I put up with from people? No, I would just have you dragged off to hell. If I was Satan, I sure wouldn't be here preaching about God and telling you how to overcome the devil's realm, trying to save you out of there. Does that make any sense? That's like what Jesus says. It's like a devil casting out a devil. I mean, how much sense does that make? Not not too much. Yes, I have heard of that. Think, there's something wrong with the bunch before. All I commented was, "Hey, Darlene, we need so. What is so?" Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. The skinwalkers. They're the Watchers. I don't know if you ever seen the video I did about the Watchers, and I think I mentioned them in the Hell video also. These things can transform into whatever they want. I mean, they can disguise themselves as a cat, a dog, whatever. If you're mad at somebody, they can show you there. But one thing they will never show you. Oh, well, she actually wasn't here. She was actually out. We have this pathway they call the towpath, and she goes out and walks and runs that. She's usually gone for like an hour, 2 hours, and um, but look, Amber, hold on a minute. I'll get right back to you. Don't go away. But it's a very powerful thing, because that is what kids get wrapped up into, playing, their imaginary friends. If we've all watched our kids do that, or you may have had one and you heard your parents, oh, isn't that cute? They're playing with their imaginary friend. There's nothing cute about that stuff. There is no imaginary friends. You're actually seeing something. That's why Christ says to be Christ childlike, because we lose the focus of this stuff. We lose the focus of that ability to accept heaven. We lose that ability to believe. When we believed, forgive me if you got children that might see this, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and all that stuff, but we can believe in that as a child, but all of a sudden we get older, we stop believing people. We stop believing so much. Yeah, right, Amber. I mean, how are you a fake profile? I mean, see, see how Satan. It's not good enough. Satan, when you start defending, and that's the one powerful thing about this channel. God will use people to defend, you know. But in the same token, you have to kind of look at it as we can't go to the fact that we're upset with ourselves for praying for him and all that. But when the truth finally comes out, uh, it's sad. I mean, it's truly sad that you waste so much time, and he wasted a lot of my time, and I don't regret it, but I feel kind of stupid. Honestly, I do, because that time could have been helping somebody else, or that time could have been on doing these videos. And I mean, people literally, I would get out of the seat of the truck and just go back here and just pass out, without even eating dinner or eating anything. Again, I'm not praising myself or anything like that, but this is why I was so upset with him. He called me at least 4 or 5 times last night. Just none. I mean, just letting the phone ring and ring and ring until it was on that messenger phone thing, whatever it is. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It just constantly, 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 constantly. I mean, it's like the one night when I got off the one video. If anybody was on, you guys would know. I mean, I was struggling to get through the video. I mean, I was like beat beyond what I could take anymore of that day. And what does he do? Calls me 2 or 3 times right after that. It I don't I'm glad I'm back to a lot of prayer. Well, I appreciate that. It it's an ugly, ugly realm. That satanic realm is ugly. And I mean, if I had to put it in percentage of where I was at in the ugliness that was coming on me, I was only about a 3%. Seriously. And I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, it's just, who does that? But then they sit there and claim to be Christians. Christian, I don't know what Christianity you're following, but it's kind of like saying I'm a Baptist, or I'm this or that. Religion can't save us. It can't save us. Little star, little hearts. uh, Only Jesus can save us, people. You know. But let me get back to the skinwalker thing. You know, they're everywhere. I mean, these TV shows that are finally coming out, and people are now starting to accept it because they watch a TV show. But you have to understand something. What Satan's doing right now? Satan's giving us the knowledge to accept things. The Walking Dead, the Night of the Living Dead, and what was, I think it was called The Walking Dead on there, the big TV show that everybody went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over. And but do you find anything interesting about this? Literally, just hear me out a second. Um, does anybody find it interesting that the zombies were out walking free, and the people that was trying to save themselves from being bit by a zombie or eaten by a zombie were encaged in a basically a fence caged area. Anybody find that ridiculous? Because that's what we do. We encage ourselves into stuff. We allow the demons to control us. And all I was trying to say to these people was, you have no idea. You can't trick me. And that's what was happening. They were trying to trick me into giving them information, by using the reverse psychiatry thing on me by saying, well, I know more than you. Trying to get my pride, my ego to come out and go, that's why I said that thing about the Jedi mind trick. Give me a break. I am not going to give you any kind of information. If you want to look it up, go look it up. If you want to go into a darkness that you can't escape, and then to turn around and say, no, that's not true. Well, yes, it is. It is true. Because you can't even battle your drink that you drink. You're losing that battle. If it got so bad that you fall into the ground and you call on the Gotha, you don't even know what it means. It's not even, you're calling on a name of something that's not even, it represents something totally even bigger. But, in that form of it, you're talking to 72 demons. Do you really want to go into a pathway of laying there drunk? You don't think that you're in a drunken stage, that you're calling on something that you're not walking in, I guess is a better way to put it. Because if you were in that state and you were walking with God and Jesus, who would you call on that? Them. You may say, well, Nelson, I disagree. You should never be in that state of thing, because Jesus said we are not to do what? Be drunken. Be in the drunkenness. Because we act a fool. We do stupid stuff. That's why he says it. Doesn't say you can't drink, but it also, if you can't handle it, don't get drunk in to where you're acting a fool. I recommend you don't do it at all, especially if you got a problem, especially if you can't control yourself, because Satan's going to run with you all night and day. Look, he kept me drunk 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't, I don't, I don't. I was just picturing. Oh my! I don't mean to laugh. And I'm not making it light about what you said, but it it made me. You know what, Mud Shark? Wow! It just made me think of taking the trash cans and slinging them down the driveway and pulling out the 6-shooters and going, "Come on, let's do it." But wow. Um, but there's going to come that time. There's going to come that time when these FEMA camps and all this stuff and all this imprisonments and all this it's guns and knives and fingers in the eyes here. Phew. It's a scary world of what's becoming out there. But we know that the rise of the Antichrist must rise, and that's why I kept saying about this week, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that Jesus is really coming. But I wasn't trying to come against anybody, because then people come against me for that, saying that I'm negative and I'm not. How dare I come against somebody that fasted or had a word from Jesus? What makes you think that your word's the only word that you hear from? I never said that. I just said I don't believe. Nobody ever asked me why I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it because I see the change of the events that's happening. I seen this great thing that happened with the death of a man, And look what's happening all over there. I mean, that revival is, I mean, it's like overnight. But also, you got to understand, when Christianity starts to rise, so does satanic realm starts to rise. That meter goes up because Satan doesn't want more power praying people. He's trying to destroy us now. So why would he accept more people that are going to pray for this world? More people going to pray against him and his minions. I mean, look, most people call it trolling on here, and it took me forever to even figure out what I'm thinking. Troll, like a troll doll with the big fuzzy hair and all that. I'm thinking, what are you talking about, troll? And I'm looking on here going, is there a troll on this show? Because back here when I had all the shelves down here with all the toys and stuff on it, I did have trolls on there, and I thought maybe somebody was seeing that going, is the troll bothering you? I'll take it down. I mean, I don't want to upset somebody, but it I can't tell if that's a laughing face or a smiley face. Anyone can say they are Christian. We know them by their fruits. Right there. Listen to them. Listen to how they talk. Listen to what they're saying and listen very carefully. We got that power because look, Jesus didn't have to have God poured into him when he got baptized. God knew that he had to pour his spirit into Jesus to do what? What did Jesus say? It's best that I go, that I could be everywhere and send you the helpmate. Because he's sending him the spirit of him. So if he sends the spirit of him, who's he sending? The spirit of God also with him, because God poured his spirit into Jesus. So now if you think about this, you think about how blessed we are to have the spirit of them both. You think about how blessed we can be if we take that private time with God. You think about how blessed your life can be if you start cutting stuff out of your life. I don't care who it is. I'm telling you, my youngest daughter is getting ready to get married in less than 12 days, 13 days. And we got into this big thing again. It's constantly the same thing. She lives in a twisted world that I refuse to do it. So if it keeps making you miserable and if it keeps making you unhappy, finally I didn't delete it, but I blocked her off of everything. Because it's like you're tearing me down on social media, which I don't care. I mean, she's done it many times. Is it right or wrong? I believe it's right. I believe that because the things that she says, and I'm not just doing it because of the stuff she says. I do it because I believe it's right in my heart. I don't believe in doing anything that's false. I don't believe in walking. Whether I walk her down that aisle or don't walk her down the aisle, it's going to be a bash fest either way it goes. And why would I want to go into that? Why would I want to go into a reception that she says that she's a Christian, but all of a sudden now she's telling people to the place where she's having it that if you're going to bring alcohol, you're going to have to sneak it in. And then she's telling me there's an appropriate time that they're going to have alcohol. And I'm like, well, which is it? I mean, so now you're lying to me again. No, I never lied to you. I mean, this is the stuff that why do you want to have a conversation like this with people? It makes no sense. You're never going to convince them they're wrong. Never. You're just wasting your time. You're just truly wasting your. You might as well go argue with yourself in the mirror. Nothing. Run. You're right. Jesus has given us the gift of discernment. You're right. We have to use it. But here's the thing that I speak a lot on here. Here's what I speak a whole lot on here. When they came to him and said, Jesus, your mother and your brothers here. He says, who is my mother and who is my brother? Thou who does the will of my Father. And I hold to that. Because all I can do is I can pray God's will over them, and that's all I pray. I pray God's will over this country, over all the countries, the decision making, schools, whatever it be. I just pray God's will because I don't want anything to change. I don't want I don't want to change something that is going to bring the time back for that rapture to truly come. I don't want to change God's will. I don't want to interfere in God's timing. I don't want to interfere if you're praying for somebody and they call for help. I'm going to prayer before I even help because I don't want to change it. Because if they're strung out on something, I'm not giving you money. I'll go buy you a pizza. It's the best I can do for you. And I'm going to pray for you. I just honored my father, and my life sucked until I repented and got back into his favor. No, you know what? That is how. Uh, Let me try to put it in the best words I can put it in. It's very honorable, I guess is the best way to put it. And I'm not praising you. I'm not putting you above anything else. I'm just saying that is. I could just imagine the father smiling right now. At first, I thought you was talking about your earthly father, but and then after I continued to read it, um, wow, it's not too hot. It's not too often that you hear somebody address God that way, and it, it it's very nice. I mean, honestly, yeah. And then I was speaking earlier, how I know that the Spirit of God stays with me is because whenever I sin and whenever I have a bad thought, or like today, uh, I wasn't going to I wasn't going to be satisfied until I came back on here to not that I have to, but I I don't regret it, but I should have not allowed myself to get so far worked out. But it shows the human. It shows how fast that being tired and everything else. There's no excuse, people. I don't make excuses. But it has a lot to do with it. When you're tired, Satan's going to come at you harder. And look what happened. But look, it's a peaceful conversation. We're having a peaceful. People are commenting back and forth with each other, and it's a peaceful setting. I got to get back to what Amber said. I told her I would, but I don't remember what it was. I don't know. I apologize. I really do. But if you're still on here, you can always remind me what it was. Oh, you were talking about your birthday. Well, even still, I mean, it it's like the prodigal son. You know, either, however, but you see. Well, let me use it this way. You see how we can take words and we can either see it one way or we can see it another way, and sometimes we misunderstand something and we can become sad or upset or hated by it. That's why correction of things, and we should ask. I just assumed when I seen that because I seen the repentant part and I got back in his favor. So I just assumed, but I shouldn't assumed. I should have asked, are we talking about the Heavenly Father or the earthly Father? Because not too often do you hear people call him, you know, uh, Father. I never called my well, I shouldn't say never. There was a couple of times I called him Father, but most of the time I always called him Dad because um, and I always wondered why. I always wondered, but then the closer I got with God and I learned the Father, oh my gosh, these people just don't quit. I wish, I don't know if you guys can. No, you can't see the TV's too high. I don't have anything to even project it. Maybe you can see there. See it? I'm telling you. See the call thing? I don't make this stuff up, people. I'm telling you, I do not make it up. It's right there. It's 4 missed calls. Look at this. They just keep 4 missed calls, and look, here it is again. Watch. 5 missed calls. I rebuke you, devil. I'm sick. I can't do this today. Honestly. Oh, the phone thing. Yes. I mean, I told him I would schedule a time with him and talk to him. He wanted me to talk because I was going to go. If you guys remember right, if you were on here, we were going to go Tuesday. I was going to go back on there and touch a little bit on this stuff, but I wasn't going to go into detail of that satanic stuff. I was going to say why we don't do it, and and I was really tired that night. I mean, I was like really exhausted. As some of the nights on here, I pushed myself and pushed myself and pushed myself, and uh, but honestly, it's being on here a lot of it gives me my mind time to, I guess, reboot itself sometimes, and it gives me a purpose. It gives me a hope. Not for myself, but that I'm doing something great for God, and that's all I try to do every day. I try to be the best servant of God that I can possibly be, and he just wouldn't stop. I mean, it was like just like this right now. I mean, it just I sh- I don't know if you could see the reflection on the tablet I was holding up to see the top of the screen. It just doesn't stop. It's like what in the world? I mean, demonic is demonic, but evil when it rises, I mean, it'll come back and just trample you. I mean, it'll do everything to convince people. I guess is a better way to put it. Yeah, and it's like and then he just starts saying that he's been a follower since 2022 and he's starting to lose respect for me and all this crap, and I'm like, respect for me? It's not. I don't want the respect. Give it to God. um yeah, I agree. I agree with that. That's the only thing that I ask is respect my time. If I'm taking time out to talk to you, whether it's online, whether it's through a voice chat thing on here, or whatever it is, all I'm asking is give me that respect. I mean, when I'm telling you I'm getting off the video and I'm going straight to bed, what makes you think that it's okay to blow up my phone all night? I mean, I just wish sometimes people could sit right here and just watch a day that you go through just trying to get through the day. And it's hard. It literally, and I'm being honest with you guys. I mean, it's hard. There's days that I wake up and all I can really muster out to pray is, God, protect me today. Lord Jesus, may your blood be over me, your protection be around me. Let me not walk into sinful day. Let me have this day remain sinless, and let me walk in your light, not of my own. And there's times it's hard for me to pick up the Bible on days. It's hard for me to even focus on what anybody's saying. It even like right now, it's anybody's watched these videos, you hardly ever would have seen me with glasses on. But the pain is so bad. It's like the pressure of my eyes and stuff, and the nerves. I mean, I can go down the list of things, but if I went on complaining all day long, I've accomplished nothing. If I'm able to have breath, I want to take my last breath trying to get the truth between the hell reality and heaven reality of what we should be doing or shouldn't be doing. Am I the master of it? No. But the Bible does speak it. Everything I speak matches that Bible, I guarantee it. You know, Jesus came of what? To bring division. Jesus came and taught of what? Hell. I did. I did that today. And when I went back into prayer earlier, because going back and forth with him, uh, I just felt the Spirit telling me to block them. So I blocked them on there. Then here they come on here. It's like, how in the world? I mean, it shows you sometimes the power of God. It shows you how God's capable of using anybody. And if God's capable of using me to come on YouTube to get through to people, really start looking at your life, and that's all I ask. I don't come against people. If you want to celebrate and watch horror movies and watch all this stuff, but all I'm saying is, or if you don't care what your children's wearing, you don't care what your children's doing, but as soon as they disappear, what were they wearing? I don't know. What were their hobbies? I don't know. Where did they hang out? I don't know. But they had a cell phone. You really think a cell phone is with them? No, they chucked that thing so far out in the middle of nowhere. Exactly. Exactly, Amber. And the thing of it is, he's in Canada. He's in Canada. What am I going to do? I don't even have a passport. So what am I supposed to do? I mean, does anybody correct me if I'm wrong? And I mean, honestly, I mean, you guys do pretty good at answering each other's questions, and that's great. Um, but correct me if I'm wrong. If this makes any sense to anybody, okay? I sometimes I overthink things, or I spend too much time thinking on something. I get maybe that's a better way to put it. But does it make any sense? I can go into Canada, but I need documentations, a passport, or that card thing, whatever that is. I guess it's like a passport, but whatever it gets, you can come back. Even though I have a United States birth certificate, I have a United States Social Security card that I can show them, and I have a driver's license from the United States. Does that not prove that I am an American citizen? I was born here. I have a birth certificate, Social Security card that says that I'm American, and a driver's license. How can I have any of that if I wasn't born and raised here in the United States? Why do I need a card to come back from Canada? Canada don't give a crap. I can go over there all I want. I just needed to get back into the United States. Does that make any sense? I've never understood that. I've never understood why we need to have not a green card, a passport to go to another country. I mean, obviously, I don't speak the language. Uh, I mean, clearly, my driver's license says United. I'm from Ohio, so doesn't that prove something? I mean, it's just like the craziest thoughts. Do I waste too much time on this stuff, or is it just bizarre to anybody else? It's like census. I know we're supposed to fill them out. We get them every so often in the mail. Like I think it's every so many years we get it. I don't fill them out. I don't fill them out. You know where I'm at. You know where I'm at because of my Social Security number. They know everything we're doing through Social Security. They know everything we're doing because they're trying to do away with currency. They know we're buying stuff online. They got us paying our bills online. And it is just to a point where they know. I mean, we buy something in the store, and I remember walking out to the car, and Darlene gets a text message saying that we was down in Florida at that time, and that the ice cream had a recall. How do they know we bought it? Because chip card, isn't it? I mean, I don't know if anybody finds that kind of bizarre, but that's a little bit too much Big Brother for me. It makes no sense. It's ridiculous. They sure make things hard for us. I agree. I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I'm glad I'm not the only one that sits there and thinks that this is stupid. Because, but here's another thought for you. We the people put these people in here, but we really don't have any say. I mean, we really don't. We don't get to vote on the stuff that they try to pass, do we? No, but our tax-paying dollars go for whatever they say it should go for. But you look at their fabulous vacations and stuff that they take. Look at some of the presidents that go up there and go to that expensive golf course. We all know where I'm talking about. You know, how much does that cost us? Um, I'm sorry, you're a president. You're being paid. Why don't you got to pay taxes? Because you sit on the Senate. Why don't you have to pay taxes? We have to pay taxes. I don't care if you do hold a government position. Does United States Postal Service don't have to pay taxes? I mean, are they exempt? How many people are really exempt from paying taxes? And why are we the ones that are being suffered? And I mean, think about how many taxes we pay. I mean, you could go batty sometimes sitting here being on a conversation with me, because this is the stuff that when I can't sleep, this is what I think about. This is what I pray about. This is what I go into that thought and go, how, you know, uh, we got so much oil and so much resources here and fuel here, but yet we're paying ridiculous fuel prices. Um, when they say they can raise the produce and lower it, then they lower it. You go past one gas station and you go down the road and it's not such a nicer area, it's a little bit cheaper. Why? We get taxed at the gas pumps. We get taxed when we go in stores. We get taxed on our checks. We get taxed when we go to a restaurant. I mean, there's taxes everywhere. How much bloody taxes do we have to pay? You and that's it right there. You know, but then I come to this. We can pray, keep praying, keep praying. And I said something a long time ago. I said, if we all fueled our cars all at once and didn't buy no fuel. I mean, most of us could go pretty much a week without putting gas in our car. Maybe a couple weeks, depends on the type of vehicle you got. Can you imagine 2 or 3 days with nobody fueling? They would have to lower that gas down so much to make up for their loss. The tycoons get richer as we sit here and struggle how we're going to pay our mortgages, how we're going to pay our bills. I say pray, keep praying, keep praying, keep praying God's will. That's all you got to pray. Keep praying God's will, but praying in silence. I believe in silence. I believe in praying like that so the enemy doesn't know what we're up to. Let's attack him with the same spiritual crap that he throws at us. But let's throw the good spiritual warfare at him. It is amazing each and every day that we have an opportunity to change today. You have an opportunity, no matter what your day starts off like, to change today. I could have simply just left the video go and go, I don't care. But I have a respect for you guys. I have love for you to tell you I I, I don't believe I handled it wrong, but I believe I shouldn't allow them to ruffle me up so much. And I feel bad about that. But I am human. And, I do have faults. I'm not perfect by no means. And, I just know that every day is a new day. And every day we have that opportunity to change who we are, to watch over our households and examine ourselves. And if not, ask God to help you, ask Jesus to help you. Uh, go into that time and look at yourself. Are you happy with everything you're doing? Are you happy with the way you are? Are you happy that the life you're living? Are you happy with the job? You might be miserable at your job. You might say, well, why do I get stuck in this job? It's the time you go into prayer and ask Jesus. Maybe he doesn't have that job. Maybe you got passed up on a promotion. Maybe he doesn't have that promotion. Maybe he does, but not there. You know, you ever wonder when we leave for work sometimes, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to be late," and we start driving faster, thinking that's going to solve the problem. No, we're causing a problem. We're causing panic on the road, zigzagging in and out of the traffic. Something goes southball real quick, back up, bam, you hit somebody. Now you're really late, and you could be on the way to a hospital or sending somebody else to the hospital. But either way, you started that effect, and now you're responsible for it. It's not worth it. You're a late call. I'm running late. I don't, I'm going to get there. I apologize, whatever. Whether your employer accepts it or not, you're in God's time. We're never late. Try telling that to your employer, especially if they're not a Christian employer. They're going to be like, wait, what? Exactly. Okay, I want to go clock in. I would clock in first because it might be a long conversation. At least you can get paid for it. Kidding. No, but no, you're already late. You don't want to be later. But or try throwing this at them. I'm sorry I called you. I'm late. If I'm 10, 15 minutes late, I'll stay over 10, 15 minutes. However long I'm late, I'll stay over and make up that time for you. I do apologize. It'll blow their minds. It'll blow their minds. See, because we're fighting against it now. We're making the situation change because we're using knowledge. We're using God's understanding of what we're supposed to be as a Christian and what we're supposed to do. He says, go in there and give 100%, no matter how they treat you. But yet he'll hold them accountable. See, we don't have to be there to see the judgment. We don't have to be there to see all this unfold. We just have to know that we lay it in God's hand and let him do it. That's the power and authority that we have. That's the power and the connection that we have. We have so much power in prayer, so much power in the name of Jesus. Who should we fear? Who should we fear? Let me pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, and thank you for the people that came on here, and thank you that their understanding, and if anything, it shows that how we're not supposed to allow the enemy. Don't even argue with them, because there's no getting through their heads. Convincing them they're wrong, it'll never happen. It's like convincing Lucifer that he made a mistake. The hatred and the evil that comes from him is beyond. We just take a look outside and we see it every day. Lord, I just ask that in their prayer time that wisdom is given to them, sight of things and protection. I ask that they have food on their table, their bills are met. I ask that they don't have to struggle to provide for their families, that they don't have to worry of how they're going to pay for something. Lord, I know that you are capable of doing all things in our lives. All we have to do is seek and follow you daily and put our faith and trust in you and try to live the best life we can live under you and try to set the best example, show the world you and the Father. And we are doing the purpose of the Father by showing you. Living that life as you have showed us from the beginning, teaching us obedience and teaching us how to walk, teaching us how to overcome sad times. The Holy Scripture is full of ways that we should live daily. From when it was written to where we are today, the things you have shown, none of this has ever changed. It's just our days of the week and our year changes. That's it. The satanic realm's always been there, and it's going to be there until the final hour. And then it should be sealed up. All the screaming and the cries and the gnashing of the teeth will never be seen or heard of again. These people walk themselves straight into their own torture chamber that's coming for them. We can feel pity and prayer. We lift it to you. We ask not of anything that's going to change the Father's will, but his free will be done. And we lift this up today, and we honor your thoughts and what you want for us. Let us be grateful and thankful for what you give us. And let us expect nothing more. Lord, I don't come asking for a brand new vehicle. I ask for whatever you give. That's exactly what I need. And I'm thankful for whatever you do give, because whether it's used or new, it's brand new to me. Not that I need a vehicle, but when we did, prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. Just praise you, Lord, and I thank you and I love you. And I thank you, Father, for sending your only begotten Son to this earth, that we shall not perish. If we accept of him and take of this and walk with him daily, we will see the kingdom of your kingdom again. And Lord, we thank you for watching over us, and I ask, Lord, that you continue to examine me as I examine myself, and bring anything to surface, Lord. Let me come with a true repentance heart to lay myself at your feet and ask for this forgiveness. But Lord, I also ask if there's anything that comes from me, then put your angels' protection around these things so that Satan can't find a crack to bring it back to my life. And help me be strong, Lord, to keep it out of my life. I love you, Lord, and I praise you, and I thank you. Amen. All right, guys. Till the next one. I love you. Bye.